So in this video, I'm showing you a 2 Tower chimps that used to be possible before update 13 when Ninja Kiwi nerfed the attack rate and the pierce of the Grandmaster Ninja. And then also in update 38, they nerfed the range of a Grandmaster Ninja. So yeah, that's pretty swell, I'm not gonna lie. So back in update 9, this 2 Tower chimps was possible by user ivanivanchenchen. I'm not too sure how to pronounce their name, but you'll see the completion on screen of the index entry of this particular combination. And what you take into account is even though in update 13 the Grandmaster's Ninja's damage has increased from 1 to 2, the more important factors of the pierce and the attack rate of the Grandmaster Ninja were more important than the damage increase of the Grandmaster Ninja itself. Yes, it's good to increase their damage, but it's also not good to decrease the other two things, since they're also very important in a 2 Tower chimps run. Taking away a pierce of a tower is not very good, and also we can buff the damage anyways using the Permanent Brew, which essentially doubles it. I would say doubles, probably does double, and actually it's overall damage. So it goes from 1 to 3 with the strongest stimulant. I'm thinking of the correct one. Yeah, so it goes up to 3 with strongest stimulant, and then obviously with Permanent Brew it is permanently applied. And then there's also the bonus damage to ceramic balloons and Moa balloons, and having the means of being able to pop lead balloons essentially. Although as it is a sharp damage type, it doesn't mean it can pop frozen balloons, so it's kind of the same as Shatter, but rather than not being able to pop leads, it's not able to pop frozen balloons. But don't worry, frozen is not a matter here, as well we have nothing to freeze said balloons. No ice tower, no cold sentry, no top path druid with the ball lightning, which is a very interesting development, and not a recent update, but one of the more recent ones. These 2 spots are what ivanivanchenchen did in their 2TC of this particular run here. It doesn't make a difference, since, well, the Grandmaster Ninja can no longer be able to damage all of the balloons in the same way. Like, you do get +1 at version 13, so rather than doing 3 damage, you do 4 damage with the strongest stimulant. Keep forgetting the name of these things, but the additional pierce and attack rate was far more important than the damage, because, well, I've already explained it earlier. So acidic mixture dip, always want to go to perishing potions, just because we can strip the fortified property off of non-Moa class balloons. So round 98 is quite prevalent, because it has all of those fortified super ceramics, which you can halve their HP just by stripping off the fortified layer off. Berserker Brew, like, this is usually a very good combination together in a regular chimps game by buffing your ninjas with a Alchemist of some kind to increase their attack rate, and also as well an even higher attack rate with the Berserker Brew and stronger stimulant. I forgot about that little factor then. Also the additional range. I was just thinking of, well, you get enough damage anyways, but then there's also the other factor, additional attack speed, which obviously made the Grandmaster Ninja before update 13 even more of a throwing stars menace. I know the shurikens. Balloon Jutsu here, and it's optional if you want caltrops or not. I think in the original completion of this, so Grand Brew, don't have to type it all out, but just as long as you don't get any characters incorrect. So the OG was done, 502, so caltrops might have been very important, so we'll just get it anyways. It's only 485, and whenever the ninja is not throwing shurikens at the balloons, we'll be able to put some little means of damage on the field. What's better, these caltrops or the acid pools that the Alchemist could throw? Honestly, just think the caltrops in some ways, just because they last for a little longer. And before you say it, the Grandmaster's caltrops pierce increasing from 5 to 6 in update 36 is not a important buff for this to somehow be successful, okay? There goes down the first Moab of the day. If you're watching this, ivanivanchenchen, then congratulations on the original completion of this back in 2019. Oh gosh, 2019, that's 5 years ago. Gosh, I feel so old. Oh dearie me, what's gonna happen when we like reach update 50 of this game? Like, I'm gonna feel ancient at that point. Like, update 50, probably projecting that would be in 2026. Like, I imagine update 44 is not going to be too long now as of the time of this recording. Definitely think August is going to be the month in which update 44 comes out. Because we've had Rosalia back in May, so give that 3 months, and obviously we'll go to August. What would be really specific once you get parachute potions is if the Alchemist has a fortified ceramic button that you can press, so that this thing just prioritizes fortified balloons, so that he can focus on just stripping all of those fortified properties off of smaller balloons. But again, it's like, that's an ultra specific thing, whereas like camo prioritization, I didn't say that correctly, I know. It's a bit more general because that is a very common threat. Like, camo balloons is something that you always need to consider in a chimps run, in any kind of run really. Yeah, in update 13, the Grandmaster's ninja damage increased from 1 to 2, but its attack rate reduced from 0.1 to 0.217, and then the pierce of a Grandmaster Ninja was reduced from 6 to 4. And I honestly think, as I said earlier, that the 2 nerfs are more important than the 1 buff. Grandmaster Ninja is online on round 58. Now, round 59 and onwards, we are saving up towards the Permanent Brew, which means that these 2 little icons, well, this will obviously be changed, will not disappear from the Grandmaster Ninja at all. Well, until the end of this video anyways. There goes the BFB. Yet very powerful, synergizes very well with the stronger stimulant because of the fact that it's already a weak tower, honestly, per shuriken, and just having it so that each shuriken does 2 more damage per, well, per shuriken itself. It's just pretty good, honestly. Pretty good to say the least. So what about round 63? A round in which I think it would do a much better job at before update 13. So, would you think that this would be possible on a different map? So let's say Dinkerton or Scrapyard or Resort. Do you think that if any of those maps were releasing up... Actually, Resort I need to look up quickly, because I don't remember which update Resort came out. It definitely wasn't in base game. It was in... I'm looking this up on the internet. I'm not... doesn't say really, like, versions. The Bloons Hard Defense 6 index, so wiki needs a... Oh, here we go. Version 25. So yeah, it wouldn't be out when this 2TC was possible, really. But if you could, like, convert a version over to a version of the game where the maps would be available at a future date, what do you think the absolute bestest version of the game would be? Like, honestly, I would really like to create a video one day where I'm like, okay, on this version, this tower was at its prime, or in that version, that tower was at its prime, and just create a version of the game itself where it's like, okay, all of these towers are at their absolute peak. Obviously, Absolute Zero will be update 31 because of the bug which was in that game or version where the permafrost aspect does like 75% reduction rather than the, was it 10%? Now I need to look this up for myself. I am looking up this information while also creating this video. Yes, pretty insane stuff. But version 31 was definitely the most broken version. Oh, it's let's see now. Okay, so update 31, the Absolute Zero permafrost slowdown increased from 25 to 50, but when update 31.2 came out, it was from 50% to 75% slowdown. You know, that's pretty crazy, if I'm not gonna lie. That is a pretty crazy amount of slowdown. And definitely something which a lot of 2 megapulse people love. Like, update 31 was honestly probably peak 2 megapops, honestly, because of the fact that Geraldo released, and that's back when Geraldo was at his prime, back when Geraldo was affordable from round 6, was able to 1 TC. This is more or less also a conversation rather than just a video in and of itself, discussing about Bloons Tower Defense 6 and stuff like that. But I think there are also other broken things in update 31. Like, I think I remembered the foam from the cleansing foam was able to slow down the bad. I'm not too sure if you required the pin effect in order to do that as well. Perhaps you did, actually. Okay, something else in which I'm looking up mid-video. Yes, I just absolutely love that kind of thing in which we're doing here. So, cleansing foam, Bloons Tower Defense 6, let's see, undocumented bug also slows down pads. Oh gosh, the bug foam. Oh dearie me. Yeah, and then 31.1, the cleansing foam no longer slows down mob class balloons. Like, that's just funny, like being awake at that kind of scenario. Yes, it was given a 50 price increase, but the the buff you got with it as well was more than worth a 50% the 50 money upgrade. Dearie me. Wait, did that also transport over to... No, wait, it had to be the, yeah, it's the pin, okay. I was going to say, does it also transport over to the sentries when I realised you can't have foam, sentries, and pins simultaneously? Oh, dearie me, the wonders of Bloons Tower Defense 6 never ceases to amaze me. Also, round 80. Yeah, we have talked about all of this because, well, we've been pretty much able to solo these rounds so far, but... there's going to come to a point where we're going to run out of steam with this combination. And it's not going to be pretty once we reach it. There goes the ZOMG. If my calculations are correct, Perishing Potion should be at its prime when you are on round 82 onwards, because of the fact that we can strip away the fortified property from Super Ceramics. And it does do quite a bit of damage. See, look at that, 500 damage just like that because of Perishing Potions. Unless you know this means not going to pop anything in a 2 megapop scenario where you're supporting a 2 megapop tower, don't ever buy it. Round 84 sees us buying the Perma Brew, which means now we can apply the strongest stimulant aspect and the acidic mixture dip aspect, and they will not go away, even from like the description. So the Berserker Brew becomes permanent on monkeys who drink it. It doesn't say the acidic mixture dip becomes permanent, only the Berserker Brew part. Which honestly, I can imagine Ninja Kiwi looking at this description and thinking, nah, we should nerf a permanent brew so that only the Berserker Brew aspect becomes permanent and not the acidic mixture dip aspect. Oh dearie me, why do I come up with these stupid ideas? Ninja Kiwi would be like, oh, that's a great suggestion, player balloons. We should do that, you know, to make 2 megapops even harder now that we've nerfed your favorite 2 megapop supporting tower in the game, being Geraldo. Also round 87. This should be okay. We should be able to do this, no problemo here. CMG's going down here. We'll get to a round in which we're going to fail on, and then I'm going to boot up a customs map and be able to do this scenario in. But it is impossible to put a custom map onto the index because of the fact that it's not an official map, but something in which people can create for themselves. If custom maps were also allowed on the index, then all Ultra Juggernauts 2 Tower Chimps would be removed because 1 Tower Chimps is possible on the correct map editor scenario. Just literally create a encircled area that loops around so many times and then just watch the Ultra Juggernaut just absolutely demolish the competitions. Okay, DDTs Not a problem whatsoever. It's taking a little bit of work, and that is why, honestly, I'd rather have the additional attack speed and pierce over the +1 additional damage. Like, sometimes more attack speed and more pierce is better than just raw strength. Round 9. Although raw strength in and of itself is still very important, but each shuriken only beforehand only ever did 1 damage. Let's see. Yeah, why you see me? It's a ninja. You're not supposed to see them, otherwise they're not very good ninja. The only time you notice that a ninja is there is when you are on your death doorstep. Something along those lines. Okay, ZOMG's here. We're getting pretty close now to the end round here. And there goes all of those. If you enjoy this video, then please be sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe so that you can see other scenarios like this in the future. So round 92 was pretty tight with those ZMGs. Round 93, DETs obviously need to take out those first. Thank you for obviously taking them out, Grandmaster Ninja. There they go down there. And the fortified BFOs. Okay, round 94. This is the round in which I just know for a fact in which we're going to be stopped. Look at all of this pierce in which we need to accommodate here. We're just not going to be able to do this, really. Like, there's just too much RBE, there's too many Moa class balloons, too much stuff in which we're trying to pop, but we cannot really control here. And, yeah, pretty exciting stuff. It's not the BFBs which are going to be the issue, it's the ZOMGs that are going to be issue alongside the BFBs inside it. Moabs, ceramics, you get the gist. And I don't think any amount of targeting microization, something along those lines, will be able to help save us here. So you could probably think, well, what about if you put it on last so that you can kind of stagger out your damage so that it damages them more in different ways. So we could do that, but that's actually going to make our problem even worse because we have to face off even more pierce on the get-go, really, because we targeted the BFBs even sooner, and therefore the ceramics would go away. So what about strong? Again, I don't think this is the solution. Like, targeting the ZMGs and creating even more pierce to start off with is a very bad idea. We need to accommodate for those ceramics. We're getting back way close to the end. And obviously, when we get to this point, the ZMGs and the MURBs are just going to soak up all of the pierce. So having this thing on first is very important because you're able to deal with the targets which are in front of you rather than the targets which are not as much of a threat at that given point in time. But obviously, if you ignore it, then they do become a threat. So what about other rounds? So starting off, we know that round 94 is not possible. What about round 95? We know that monkey knowledge is off because for me it's either they are either all on because I have all of them unlocked, or they are off because we don't have the mana shield here. So anytime you want to test out a 2 Tower Chimps combination run, have it on the hard difficulty, but then obviously have monkey knowledge off and then go from there. It's a good way to test out a combination if you're struggling with it, and also have this on 1, but obviously as you can see that over 13,000 lives were lost there. Obviously we'll keep this back at 1, but I just want to show you the possibilities even if we did have more lives. So what about round 96? Well, despite that the ZMG spawn at the very back of the map here, which means we don't have to contest with all that PS early on, all of these fortified ones are still giving us a bit of an issue. And for the fact that these BFBs are soaking up our PS, so therefore we cannot target the frontmost groups of balloons here, which is why this particular scenario is now no longer possible. you need to be able to target these so that you can actually deal with them all. But obviously with the lack of PS going on here, we cannot do that whatsoever. So round 94 a dud, round 95 a dud, round 96 a dud. But I think round 97 could be possible, because of the fact that we can dish out the damage, but we have, well, enough PS going on here so that we are able to deal with all of this here. Because we don't have to contest with so many balloons. Even though there's a lot of RBE in per target, we can dish out the damage, but we cannot dish out the PS in other aspects of this scenario. So there goes down the fortified BFBs here. They're all going this way. These people are not people. Okay, so that still is a struggle, but it's not as much of a struggle as, let's say, other scenarios going on here. So obviously able to pop that lot, but round 97 is closer than the other rounds here. And then round 98 is obviously not going to be, it's not even going to be a question. This is going to fail very, very early on. The fortified aspect is just way too much for these, even though we do bonus damage against ceramic balloons and Moa class balloons. Like, it would be a bit OP if this also grants bonus damage to fortified balloons, kind of like a pickle speed, but minus the attack speed drop. Obviously, we're not doing enough damage going on throughout here, because we don't have the attack speed. And then there you go. Yeah, even if we manage to pop those, but still we have to contest all of these. And then there's the backlog over here, like the ZMGs. That's just far too much PS with all of the BFBs and Moabs inside, and all the ceramics as well to finish things off. So imagine it was probably a lot of microing, because publicly you can only see a screenshot of this 2 Tower Chimps completion. So yeah. Round 99 is also going to be a similar thing, because, well, we couldn't manage on round 95, so how the hell could we do round 99, even though we've got less DDTs to worry about, they've got twice as much HP to worry about. So that is a thing. And also round 100. I doubt we're even going to be able to pop the bad, actually, because of our lack of attack speed here. Just reset the pop counter just so that you can see how much damage that we are doing here. Like, I'm using the spots in which the original 2TC was done with these two back in version 9. I suppose Perma Brew is a bit better nowadays, because it's now got increased range so that you can throw your potions further out, but at the same time, you're not increasing your offensive capabilities, you're just increasing how far you can throw those offensive capabilities, which is very important. But when it comes to single target damage, that's not fortified balloons, stripping it off and all that jazz, we're not dealing with damage. And even though this is very close, I don't think we're going to be able to pop this thing. Like, we're stupidly close. Like, we're about 500 or so away from being able to pop the bad, combining both of the damage counters together. What's odd about camo prioritization is that it's not applied to heroes that can detect camo balloons as well, which you would think that that would be the logical thing to implement onto heroes that can see camo balloons, is, you know, camo prioritization. I think not only towers should get that benefit as well, choosing to attack camo balloons, but also heroes. There goes the bad and the ZMGs. Now it's just, so, yeah, DDTs, I mean, sorry. Now it's just the ZMGs and everything else inside it. So yeah, a hypothetical scenario nowadays, but we can't take away from the fact that this 2 Tower Chimps used to be possible back in version 9 and axed in update 13. So thank you all so much for watching, everybody. This has been a used to be possible 2 Tower Chimps, now a hypothetical 2 Tower Chimps, hypothetical being that you can only do it in a custom map. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comment sections below, and see you all in the next video. I heard that the next Vortex boss scenario is going to be very interesting, let's just say that. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care of yourselves.